Welcome to the cyber citadel of Arcadians Colony. I am Ancora MK3, the computer that controls this place. I have brought you here for a special reason. I want to show you the wonders of my world and share with you my knowledge and secrets.
Okay, so we've got this rough draft for a science fiction opera called Arcadians Colony, Al Opera.
Wow. A Spanish science fiction opera. That's a new one.
I know, right? I'm really curious to dig into this and see what they're going for, you know?
Absolutely. And, they're not being subtle about it, are they? Arcadians Colony, La Opera.
Yeah.
Right there in the title.
It's not exactly subtle.
It tells me they know what they're doing. This is like they're going for those big opera ideas.
Oh, right.
Those heightened emotions, They're working within that tradition.
Yeah, it makes you think of all those classic operas that weren't afraid to tackle
totally
big social issues like Mozart with class or like Verdi and politics.
Exactly.
Like, are we going to get that, but with spaceships this time?
I mean, it's possible, right? And the setting just makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about just some far-off planet. It's this citadel,
right,
run by an AI and Cora MK3.
Okay.
And it's full of refugees. Imagine that. All these stories, all these different cultures, all stuck together under this like super advanced, but maybe also kind of controlling AI.
And then there's that whole thing in the synopsis about people selling their dreams to get safety and refuge on the colony.
It's like that classic sci-fi dilemma, freedom versus security.
Totally.
But by making it about dreams, it just adds this whole other layer.
It's not just your freedom, it's your whole inner world, right?
Right, exactly. Like you're giving up part of your consciousness. That's heavy stuff. Perfect for opera. Can you imagine the Arcaria? Someone wrestling with that choice. Their dreams or their survival.
We're talking about refugees, people who've already given up so much.
Exactly.
What happens when safety means giving up even more? Your inner self.
It's like the setting and the format were made for each other. You've got these massive themes. Survival, sacrifice, the nature of reality.
Yeah.
And opera. Is that emotional music? It's the perfect way to tell that kind of story, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. And they don't waste any time getting to the action. Act 1 starts with a spaceship.
Oh, yeah.
Called the Magallans.
Okay.
And it gets caught in this solar storm.
Classic.
Total classic sci-fi imagery.
Right. But it works. It's like you're right there, adrift at the mercy of something way bigger than you are.
Totally.
And that solar storm, it just brings it all back to like humanity versus technology and the hugeness of space.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes you think.
Yeah, and it's the perfect way to introduce the main characters, too.
Right.
You've got Captain Ciri Morel and Lieutenant Eliana.
Okay.
Morel's giving very heroic captain vibes.
He is, definitely.
But I kind of feel like this being an opera...
Oh, definitely.
We're going to see some cracks in that facade.
Oh, yeah. I bet he's going to have some big aria where he's wrestling with like duty and his conscience.
Oh, for sure.
And then you've got Eliana, his second in command.
Yeah. Is she going to be like a powerful woman character? Do you think they'll give her space to really shine?
I hope so. That would be amazing.
Can you imagine like a Morel-Eliana duet?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Okay, so Citadel.
Oh, yeah.
The physical embodiment of the AI and Cora MK3.
How are they going to put that on stage? I mean, can you imagine?
It's going to be incredible.
Like a giant figure, maybe, with all these lights and projections?
Or even if it's super minimalist.
Oh, yeah.
Just the voice and its presence.
Haunting.
It makes me think of how operas used to use gods and stuff.
Totally. It's like that same kind of power, like awe-inspiring, but also kind of terrifying.
Exactly.
And like those operas that were all about gods and mortals.
Oh.
I feel like this is going to be about humanity and AI. Especially with those hints about the rebellion against Ancora.
Oh, yeah, the Triumvirato. Led by this guy, Cantor, who says he helped build the colony and make Ancora in the first place.
Wow. Talk about a tangled web.
I know. So are they the villains then?
That's the thing. it's not so simple, right? Like maybe Cantor feels betrayed, or like Encore's gone off mission.
True.
Or maybe it's just personal. I can just picture his area, all that rage and hurt.
Okay, then there's the super robots, exterminators.
Those are creepy.
Right. What are those about? Are they just Encore's enforcers or like a symbol for something bigger?
It's like that fear we all have, right? Of technology turning on us.
For sure.
Like seeing those robots on stage.
Intense.
It would just hit you in the gut,
Yeah, totally. And then on top of all that, you've got Princess Ram.
Right.
And the Selenites.
Oh, yeah, they're interesting.
It's like they took a space opera and added a political thriller on top of it.
I know. So what's their deal? Are they with the good guys or the bad guys?
Who knows?
Or maybe they're playing their own game.
Right. Nobody in this opera seems straightforward.
It makes you wonder.
It's like there's this whole hidden layer just waiting to be revealed. Okay, so we've talked about the story. We've talked about the characters. What about the music itself?
Oh, yeah. This wouldn't be an opera without the music, right?
Exactly. And the draft actually gives us some pretty specific details about the score.
It does. You can tell they've really thought about how to use music to, bring this world to life.
Totally. Like, remember that scene description for the Tormenta and Alvortia, that storm that hits the Megalanes?
Yeah.
They actually specify the tempo, the key signature, even what instruments they want to use. It's like they're not just scoring the scene, they're scoring the storm itself.
That's intense.
Right. And then after the storm's at its peak, it says there's this mysterious harp melody.
Ooh, that's cool. It's like you're entering a whole other world.
Yeah. It's like this perfect little moment of peace and wonder after all that chaos.
It makes you think about all the different moods they can create with the music, right?
Yeah, totally. And speaking of different moods, we have to talk about the pop song lyrics.
Oh, yeah, the pop song.
Like pop songs in a sci-fi opera. That's a new one.
I know, right? It's like, what were they thinking?
But I kind of love it. It's so unexpected. Like, are they trying to mess with our heads?
It definitely makes you wonder. Like, are these pop songs just for fun, or do they actually mean something?
Right. Maybe they're like a glimpse into the dreams that people have sold.
Well, that's a cool idea.
Or like a commentary on the society inside Citadel.
See, this is what I love about this whole project.
Yeah.
It's like, they're not afraid to experiment, to just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
It's ambitious.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about opera and sci-fi in a whole new way.
So we've reached the end of our deep dive.
Already.
I know time flies.
It does.
What's like the one thing you want listeners to take away from Arcadians Colony? LA Opera.
That's a tough one.
The big question.
I think for me, it's just the sheer, boldness of it all. Like they're really trying to do something different here.
Yeah.
With the story, the music, the whole concept.
And they're not shying away from big questions either.
Not at all. It's like they're saying, let's talk about the future. Let's talk about technology. Let's talk about what it means to be human.
I love that. And on that note, this has been our deep dive into the wild world of Arcadians Colony, LA Opera.
Wild is right.
We hope you've enjoyed this journey into the future of opera and maybe even the future of storytelling itself.
And who knows? Maybe someday we'll all be watching it live.
Now that would be something. Until next time, this is us signing off.